What's going on, Liverpool fans? Back with another video to talk about the Chelsea defeat we had yesterday at Stamford Bridge. Now, as you probably know, a month ago, 4 weeks ago, we were something like 10 points ahead of Chelsea in the league, and Chelsea looked like they'd given up. They weren't even chasing a top four place. But this is Liverpool, we always seem to give teams opportunities to come back and to try and catch us in the league. And this is exactly what's happened now. And we're in a very tough situation at the moment, because if we don't win the game on Saturday, the 12th of April, 12th of May, our final game of the season against Brighton, and Chelsea win their next two games, they've got a game in hand over us. They've brought the points gap down to 3 points now with Liverpool. If they win their two games and we drop points against Brighton, then unfortunately we're not in the Champions League next season. Now, this is unbelievable. 4 weeks ago we were in such a good position to finish so far ahead of Chelsea, to even get into second in the league above Manchester United, and somehow we've contrived to throw it away. We've absolutely just thrown it away against the likes of Everton, where we drew with them in the derby 0-0. We said, okay, we've got an important game against Manchester City to think about, so we can deal with that. We can live with that. Then the following week, we go to West Bromwich Albion, or a couple of weeks later, we go to West Bromwich Albion, take a 2-0 lead at the Hawthorns against a team that is virtually relegated, and they are relegated now. They've been relegated from the league. And we end up throwing the game away for 2-2. And then last weekend, we drew Stoke City at Anfield. Another 2 points down the drain. And then for the love of God, yesterday, what are they doing yesterday, man? Jurgen Klopp has lost his mind. He really has. Why are you playing Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield, Jurgen Klopp? Can you explain this to me as a Liverpool supporter, as a Liverpool fan? Try to explain to me why you are putting Trent, who has been one of our worst players in the last three games. I've said this on my previous video to other Liverpool fans, and they don't listen as well, some of these numpties. It's either that they don't have a fucking brain, or I don't know what's going on. This man is not playing well, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He should be taken out of the team. You cannot play him in the European Cup final against Real Madrid. Do you understand this? If you play him in the Cup final, the European Cup final, Champions League final, we're going to get overrun. We're going to get destroyed on that flank. There's some supporters out there who still believe in Trent. He's got a good future. He's a young player, an inexperienced player, but he can't play in the big games at the moment. It's too young for him, man. And it's like a joke. It's like Jurgen Klopp is taking the piss. Instead of playing him in his natural position, right back, he puts him into midfield. When he's got Woodburn and he's got Adam Lallana on the bench, and he puts bloody Trent Alexander-Arnold into midfield against the likes of, Fabregas, Hazard and Bakayoko. You taking the piss, Jurgen. Honestly. And what happens in the end? We lose the game. We started the game pretty well yesterday. We had chances through Mane, and Mane looked a bit lethargic. He looked lazy yesterday with some of his finishing. If he had just been a bit more clinical, we would have been ahead before they even scored the goal. And then what happens in the 32nd minute? They get the ball on the right side of the penalty area. I think it's Moses delivers a cross into the area, and we've got two players there. You've got Virgil van Dijk and you've got Dejan Lovren, and neither of them jump for the ball. They just watch the ball in the air, and who jumps? Giroud. The French giraffe, as we call him. The French giraffe, Olivier Giroud, he's not a good player, man. And he always seems to score against Liverpool. It's a joke, it really is. Even in his days at bloody Arsenal, we used to score against Liverpool. And he's done it again, playing for Chelsea this time. Dejan Lovren, what is the matter with this man? How many more chances do you need in the team to actually do something, constructive, to actually do something in defence, to clear a ball, to win your team points? Are you actually going to do this at your time at Liverpool? I don't think he is. He went for a decent spell in the season, Lovren, where we weren't conceding many goals, but now he's just turned back to the original, the original Lovren that we knew from the beginning of the season, and the Lovren from the past seasons. It's the same, man. Nothing's changed. It's the same player. God's sake, man, Liverpool. We're just throwing points away. We're throwing points away, and now it's 3 points. And now we have to go out and beat Brighton, who have just beaten Manchester United the other day. I see some silly supporters on the internet still saying that we've got this done. We're going to do it. There's no guarantee in football that you're going to do it. Don't even be cocky. You shouldn't be cocky, especially with Liverpool. I'm telling you now. Liverpool are the kind of team that falls under pressure. We have been for the last, God knows how many years, 5 or 10 years. Every time we're put under pressure, every time that we need to do something, we need to get the 3 points, it's an important match, we don't do it. We're not able to get over the line. So never say that you're going to do something before you've achieved it, Liverpool fans. Some other fans of other teams tell us that we're delusional and we're too arrogant, but sometimes you have to admit it's the truth, because before we've actually achieved anything, we think we've done it. We think we've done the job. We haven't even finished top 4 yet. Forget about winning the European Cup. It's not going to be easy. Against Real Madrid, if you play like we did yesterday in defence, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble, I'm telling you now. If Klopp doesn't back his ideas up and put a good team together, a team that is able to keep Real Madrid out, and a team that is able to be clinical and finish them off going forwards, going into their penalty area and creating chances, scoring goals, then we've got no chance of beating them in the final. I'm telling you, they've got the experience of playing in big European games. We don't have that. Most of our players, this is going to be their first final in a major competition, a major European Cup. They've never been there before, especially the likes of bloody Trent Alexander-Arnold. This man is 19 years old, 20 years old, and you're putting him into the midfield against Chelsea, Klopp. Come on, man. Use your bloody heads. Why do you put Ben Woodburn on the bench? Use him. Put him into the midfield. And then put Nathaniel Klein at the back. He was doing a decent job. He may have passed the ball sideways and backwards, but Chelsea didn't have any joy down Klein's flank. I don't think they did. He's certainly better than... He's certainly better at defending than Trent Alexander-Arnold is. Definitely, Klein. At least he follows his player. He doesn't let him get away from him. Alexander-Arnold, he lost the ball about 10 times in the first half. He can't string 2 passes together at the moment. He doesn't have any confidence. Doesn't believe in himself, man. Or it could be fatigue. It could be because he's tired. He's a young player. And it's just ridiculous, man. Throwing away another 3 points to Chelsea now. Now we have to rely on the final game. It's just agony for the Liverpool fans, man. Agony. Every season we live the same nightmares. We relive the same nightmares every season. What is the point in bringing it into the final week? Just finish the job, man. You've had so many chances. Everton, West Bromwich Albion and Stoke. 3 games that we drew that we should have won. If we'd got 3 points from West Brom, that's it. Top 4 is finished. You can't hold on to a 2-0 lead against a team that's been relegated. And you're telling me that this is progress, is it, under Liverpool? Come on. We need to expect better things from Liverpool Football Club. This is not good enough from Jurgen Klopp. I'm sorry. We keep hearing all these stories about he's done it on a low budget and he's done this and that. He's developed them. What has he developed, man? We had the attacking football when Rodgers was here as well. We were still able to score goals. Maybe not as clinical as we are now, but we were still scoring many goals in Rodgers' tenure at the club. His 3 years, 2 years or whatever it was. It was always the defence that let us down, and it's the same now. The same problems are still there because we don't sort out the problems as a club, as a football club. We keep sweeping it under the carpet and then expecting it's going to go away. It doesn't go away in the top level of football. You need to, rectify your mistakes. You need to take care of the problems and become better as a team, as a unit. We brought in Virgil van Dijk and we thought that he was going to have a good effect on the team. He has done in various matches, but yesterday he looked tired. He looked like he was an amateur player as well. He looked really, lethargic. He looked like he couldn't care less if Liverpool win the game or not. They all look the same way. Not only Van Dijk. I'm not singling out Van Dijk, but This is not a good attitude to have. You know, you're going into a major European Cup final in 3 weeks' time, and we don't have any form behind us. We don't have any rhythm. We don't have any momentum to go into the final. Now we have to go out and put in a show against Brighton on Saturday, because if we don't win that game and we end up not finishing in the top 4, there's going to be massive upheaval at Liverpool, I'm telling you. You know, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, we were comfortably in the top 4. We were setting our sights on second place. Forget about fourth. And now this week, you know, they've got games in hand, both Chelsea and Tottenham. If they win those games, Tottenham go above us. And if Chelsea win their game, they catch us. They level the points. It's only goal difference that separates us. We're only lucky that we've scored, I think we've got a plus 42 goal difference. And Chelsea, I think, are on plus 27. So we've got like a 15, 16 goal advantage over Chelsea in the last 2 games. If we didn't have that, that's it. You're out of the top 4 altogether. If you lose points on the final match, the final day of the season, and Chelsea win, you're out. You know, you're in the Europa League. And that's a disaster for Liverpool. It really is. You know, we've been there all season, man. We've been in the top 4 all season virtually until now. Outstanding performances from the likes of, Firmino and from Salah have taken us to the top, near the top of the league. And now to be in such a situation on the final day of the season is not good enough, Liverpool. I'm sorry, but any fans that you're still finding excuses. You know, we're tired. We played midweek in European football. We've got injuries. These are not excuses, man. You've got a specific job to do as a Liverpool player. You go out and do the fucking job. Stop making bloody excuses for these players, man. Stop making excuses for Jurgen Klopp. He keeps falling into the same trap as he did last year. Plan A doesn't work. Plan B, there's no plan B. He doesn't have a plan B. That's the whole problem that we have. The major problem that we have. He doesn't have a plan B or a plan C. You can't keep going into games thinking that you're going to outscore the opposition. It doesn't work, Jurgen Klopp. You know, when you play the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City, Tottenham, the big teams in the league, Manchester United, you can't go out there playing like this, man. You have to have a different way of playing, a different system, a different tactic on the pitch to get past them, to find one of their weaknesses and to exploit it, to try and get a goal from it. But we don't have that, man. As soon as we go behind to a good defensive team, that's it. We lose the game. It was the same last season. We lost to shit teams like Hull City, to Swansea, to Southampton, to Crystal Palace, And this year we're doing the same against the big teams this year. Last year we beat all of them, the big teams. We didn't lose a single game to them. This year, I think we've lost 5 times against the big 6 teams. And we've only got a couple of victories, I think, against Man City and against Arsenal at Anfield. Away from home, we're shambolic against the big teams this year. We haven't picked up any points at all. This is not good enough for Liverpool. It really isn't good enough. We're bringing in Naby Keita, and I think there's going to be some additions. Maybe some other, if FSG actually put up the bloody money and they give Jurgen Klopp the money to spend. But he's another idiot, Klopp. He keeps talking about development and making the team better. You need to buy the quality players, man. You can't make shit better, can you? Unfortunately. I don't want to slate my players, but average shit doesn't become better. Average players cannot become better. This is their limit. They can't become better players. The only way they can become better is if they've got good players around them. So the less average players you have in your team, and the more top quality players you have, world class players you have, the other players will start to become better as a consequence of them, because they know how to play the game. They know what to do in certain positions, the quality players, the experienced players. But we don't have that anymore, man, at Liverpool. We had a midfield of Milner, Henderson and Wijnaldum. You can't tell me that this is good enough to go into the Champions League final. It's not good enough, this team. You need to make sure that Emre Can is fit now. He gets back into the team. You need to make sure that Lallana trains and he gets ready for the final. because we're not going to be able to beat Real Madrid with this midfield. I'm telling you, if we play like we have the last 2 or 3 games in the league, we've got no chance. You know, and then what have we got to look forward to? A season that could have been great, a great season, an outstanding season, is going to turn into a bloody failure of a season, an absolute disaster of a season. It's just unbelievable that we've allowed it to turn into this, man. And this is like not being serious about the job, not finishing the job off. It's not as if we don't have the quality. We have the quality, some of our players, but they haven't turned up. They didn't turn up against Stoke, where they missed chances in the first half, and then the game ended up 0-0 in the end to a relegation team, a relegated team. Same against West Brom, 2-0 up, cruising, with about 10 minutes or so to go, and we end up drawing the game 2-2 for no reason. Stupid defensive mistakes again. And then the Everton game was a derby. You can forgive that game because that's a one-off game. Everton are up for it. It's a derby game. Doesn't matter if they're lower down the league than Liverpool. They can always cause an upset in the derby. It happens in the Manchester derby. It happens in the London derbies. It can happen in any game in a derby match. These things happen. But for the life of me, man, I really don't understand what Jurgen Klopp does. And the problem he's having with Buvac now, the assistant manager. Why now? Why don't you leave it till the end of the season to sort out your differences? Why are you doing it now? At the end of the season, the most important part of the season. Some people were saying that he was the brains of the team. He was the one who made the tactics for Klopp. And I'm starting to believe it now because Klopp, he just looks like a lost child. He really does. Sometimes in matches. He's shouting, he's getting agitated, he's moving around the pitch like a maniac. Sometimes he just looks like he's lost the plot. He really does. And it rubs off on the team, on the players, because if you see your manager on the touchline and he doesn't know what he's doing, he can't give you the right tactics, then you become disillusioned on the pitch. You don't know what you're doing as well. And it rubs off on the players. You don't see Pep Guardiola doing that. Most of the managers, the top managers, they keep their calm. Even Benitez he doesn't panic. But Klopp, he just loses it. And then he has to start making excuses in the press conferences after the match. Just do your job, Jurgen, man. You've had so many chances to finish the top 4, and then you could have rested players for the remaining league matches and go into the Champions League final fresh, ready for the game. But now we need to play a good game against Brighton, and Brighton are in good form. They've just beaten Manchester United, who are above us in the league. It might be a small detail, but it's important. Brighton have secured their Premier League status for next year, but they're going to want to finish in the top half of the table. If they can beat Manchester United, they feel that they can beat Liverpool as well. They will have that belief going into the game. Because looking at our last 2 or 3 matches, of course they're going to believe it, aren't they? We're not looking good at all. We can't pass the ball. Going forward, we look useless. We can't cause the opposition any danger. Defence looks shaky again, like we were at the beginning of the season. Karius is starting to make mistakes again in goal, which I knew he would do. This man is not good enough, man, to be in Liverpool's goal. Any fan that keeps telling me that Karius should be the number 1, you've lost your mind, mate, honestly. Karius cannot go on to be Liverpool's number 1 next season. The man he's shaky, he doesn't have any confidence. And the players in front of him, I wouldn't have any confidence as well. He's got bloody Lovren there. Lovren and Van Dijk. Van Dijk is good, but he needs a good partner next to him. He needs a good centre-back partner because Lovren is not good enough. He's proved it over the so many years now. Every time he's put under pressure, he's rushed into a challenge. He makes mistakes. He can't cope with it. He doesn't have the mental strength to cope with it, Lovren. Nor does Karius. They're both shaky. They're both not good enough. They don't believe in their ability to win games for Liverpool. Van Dijk does believe in his ability, but he's too cocky as well sometimes. Just pass the ball simple and quickly. He keeps holding on to the ball for too long. Same with Wijnaldum. The amount of times he held onto the ball yesterday, it really just pisses me off, man. You know, we're trying to get out from defence and go into attack and trying to play a pass forward, and he stops the play and he keeps turning sideways or backwards. What are you doing, Wijnaldum? You're supposed to be a midfielder, man. You're supposed to set up the strikers. Why are you playing the ball backwards or sideways? It doesn't make any sense. You know, this isn't a bloody training match. This is an important game in the league against Chelsea because he doesn't believe in himself, Wijnaldum. He really doesn't. You know, the goal he got against Roma was fortune anyway because it was from a corner situation and it got a flick on. And then their goalkeeper made the mistake. He came running out of goal and Wijnaldum just managed to get his head there and to put the ball into the net. You know, it's not as if he scored a great goal against Roma. It was just a mistake by the goalkeeper that he scored the goal. And, you know, we keep saying Genie, Wijnaldum, these songs, you know, you're just giving him confidence for what? He hasn't done anything, man. He hasn't achieved anything in his team this season. He's got one goal away from home in the entire season. One goal. At home, I don't think he's even scored this year, has he? Maybe he's got a couple at home at Anfield. That's it. You know? What is going on with this team, man? Honestly, you know, I don't want to be negative again. Go back to my old ways, my pessimistic ways. But after seeing the videos yesterday on YouTube, the internet, you know, Liverpool fans, and the rage is there again. The rage is there because we keep doing the same thing every season. We keep giving chances to teams, and eventually it's going to catch up with us. You know, last season we left it to the last day again against Middlesbrough, and we nearly blew it. You know, if we didn't get that goal on the stroke of half time, Wijnaldum, that game could have gone on to be a draw, or we could have conceded a silly goal and ended up losing. And Arsenal would have won their game. They would have overtaken us in the final game of the season for the top four. It's the same situation now with Chelsea. If they win their game in hand, it's the same points. You know, you're leaving it down to bloody goal difference. As you know, Drifty said on the Football Banter show. I saw his video yesterday talking about Liverpool's mistakes and their stupidity again. You can't keep doing this, Liverpool, every season. You need to finish the job. If you want to be a big team, a quality team, you know, an elite team in the league, you need to be able to beat these teams. You need to be able to cope with pressure and finish the game off. But we can't do it. We can't manage games. We take the lead and then we concede goals. You know, we can't come from behind if we concede a goal. So what's going to happen then? How are we going to win games? We have to have a blinder. You know, it has to be Mo Salah and Firmino doing something up front. If they don't do the job, which they haven't been able to do the last 2 or 3 games, then we don't win the game. It's as simple as that. The squad is not good enough, man. The squad is not good enough. You can't rely on bloody Ings and Solanke to get you goals from the bench. Why did we send Origi away, Divock Origi? He had a decent season last year, man. He had a decent season, even his first season with Rodgers, when Klopp got us to the final of the Europa League. He was playing good. He scored like, you know, I think he got 6 goals in his last 5 games towards the end of the season. He was on fire, Origi, and he was playing well. And he's a fast player. He's able to get past people. He's able to, you know, put crosses into the area. He's just able to cause havoc in the opposition area. And you've gone and sent him on loan, and who do you have in backup? You know, Solanke, a bloody kid. Look at his first touch. He's terrible, man. He's got the touch of a bloody elephant, Solanke. He can't control the ball and pass it to someone. When he gets into the penalty area, he doesn't have any confidence that he's going to score a goal. Ings is even, you know, Ings is the same, but Ings can score sometimes, but he's not good enough as well for Liverpool, for a backup striker. We need to have all-round quality. If you state that you're a big team, you're a big club, you need to have good players in every position. 2 or 3 good players in all the positions on the pitch. You can't be relying on kids, young players, to come into the squad and do things. It's just astounding to think that we're in this situation. It really is. You know, with Klopp, I'm really disappointed with Klopp because if he doesn't get his act together and he doesn't start taking his game seriously, then unfortunately for me, as a Liverpool fan of 30 years, I want him to be sacked because It might seem a bit controversial. It might seem a bit over the top, but what do you expect, man? 3 years he's been in the team now. 3 years he's been in the club, and we keep doing the same things every season. We can't go on like this, man. If you're serious about winning the Premier League title, which should be our ambition, which should be our goal going into next season, but with this team, I don't have any confidence that they're going to win it. If next year, if Mohamed Salah is not in form, then we're not even going to be able to score goals against many teams. We don't have a clinical goal scorer. Mane is a good player. He's able to get past players. He's a winger, though. He's like a winger. Same with Salah. Firmino is not an out-and-out goal scorer. He's like an attacking midfielder, Firmino. He plays up front as a false nine, but he's not a clinical goal scorer. He's not one of those players that you say, oh, if he gets a chance, he's going to bury it. He's not able to do that, man. He's scored many goals this season because the team has been on fire, the players up front, and we've had Oxlade-Chamberlain setting people up in midfield. We've had an outstanding season up until now, but what is the point? If we throw it away at the end, it's going to have no meaning. It's not going to be a good season. If we don't get into the top 4 of the league and we lose the Champions League final, I see this season as a failure. I don't even see that we've done anything good. If we score goals and we don't win anything, what is the point? A team that scores many goals should be winning something, should be winning a trophy, should be successful. But Liverpool are just like, they're a very strange entity, Liverpool. A very stranger team, because they score so many goals and yet they concede goals, and the games that they're supposed to win, they throw away. It just doesn't make any bloody sense. I've never seen a team that is so, weird, basically. I've supported this team for 30 years, and we've become like a very strange kind of team, because the team that scores so many goals should be winning games easily against the bottom teams, mid-table teams. And yet Liverpool do the exact opposite. They end up throwing points away to these teams. It just doesn't make any sense, man. Now, these owners, John Henry and his bloody wife, Linda Pizzuti, they were at the game yesterday. Surely they saw what is missing at Liverpool. They need to bring players in the summer. Don't be making any excuses now, FSG. This is your last chance. You spend the money now. You spend the money and you bring in those players. Otherwise, you can bugger off. We've had enough of it, man, Liverpool fans. Every season, the other teams, they improve. They become better. They bring in new players, and we're still at the same situation. The bench last year was terrible after Mane and Coutinho got injured, and we didn't have any options on the bench to change the game. We were relying on bloody kids again, youngsters. It's not good enough, Liverpool. And you need to wake up and smell the coffee. This is a very, very important few weeks for Liverpool Football Club. The final game against Brighton in the league, and then the Champions League final against Madrid in Kiev. We need to win both of those games. I don't want all this runners-up shit, man. Some people are saying we shouldn't expect to beat Real Madrid. Why shouldn't we expect to beat Real Madrid? Why are we in the final then? Well, we just go in there to make up the numbers. If you're in the final, you go out there to win the game. You shouldn't see yourself weaker than Madrid. If that's the way you feel, then there's no point in playing European football. We've beaten Porto, we've beaten Manchester City, we've beaten Roma over 2 legs. So we should be looking to beat Real Madrid in 90 minutes. And they're nothing special. That's what pisses me off. It's not as if this is the best Real Madrid team we've seen in years. They're not the best team that they used to be. This is a team that we can beat now in the final. But with the defensive mistakes that we have in our team, the lapses in concentration, and the lack of experience in certain positions on the pitch, it's going to be very tough to beat them. We have to make sure that we have to hope that Salah and Mane are on form, Firmino, in the final. Otherwise, we could stare down the barrel of a terrible defeat. God forbid. I don't want it to happen to my team, but some of these fans that we have at Liverpool Football Club are just bloody deluded. They're idiots, some of them, honestly, because they see things happening and they can't accept things happening. They keep making excuses. The newspaper writers, the likes of Melissa Reddy, James Pearce and Neil Jones. Or the Redmen TV, you know, Paul and Chris, the people on there, the presenters, they don't speak the truth about the team. They don't speak the truth about our deficiencies. And they don't say anything about FSG, who needs to invest in the team. Why don't you speak the truth and tell Liverpool fans what they need to hear? You know, stop trying to hide things. Stop trying to sweep things under the carpet. It doesn't work. You know, stop playing mind games and just be honest with the fans. Just be honest, tell the truth. We're Liverpool fans, but because I criticise the team or the manager doesn't mean that I don't like the team. I don't have any, you know, passion for this team. This is the complete opposite. I have so much passion for the team. I feel like I should be playing in some games. I'm that passionate about it. When I see players that they're not able to do things on the pitch, it pisses me off. I say to myself, I should be there to take on the pressure to do something in the game. I'm that passionate about the game. I should be on the pitch to score a goal or to play a good pass in the team. This is the kind of passion I have for Liverpool Football Club. And if you don't listen to it, other fans, then I'm not bothered. I speak what I feel in my you know, my mind. I don't listen to what other people say. I don't care what other people say, man. Everyone's got their own opinion on Liverpool Football Club. If we're supporters of this team, then we can say whatever we want. We can criticise as well. You know, we can give the praise, but we can also criticise. Constructive criticism is always needed in a team. You're not always going to be successful in football, and we have to live with that. You know, it's part of being a football supporter. But to see Liverpool throwing things away in an unbelievable fashion, as they seem to do every season now, for the past 5 years, we get to finals, we lose. We get to semi-finals, we lose. We start doing well in the league, we throw points away to shit teams, and then start falling down the league again. You know, just when we catch up to Manchester United, you're thinking we're going to get into second place. We now find ourselves on the edge. You know, if Chelsea win their game in hand, they're level on points with us going into the final game of the season. And then what's going to happen? You know, one silly mistake against Brighton or a bit of unluckiness, you know, a fluky goal from Brighton, and we're on pressure, major pressure to win the game. It's already going to be pressure at the beginning of the game. But imagine if something bad happens in the game. I don't even want to think about it because it really, you know, you lose your mind after a while. It really does. It turns you into like some kind of monster. What is the matter with this club, man, with this team? We need to be mentally stronger. We need to be more awake. We need to finish the job when we have the chance. Why do we always keep leaving things to the last minute, Liverpool Football Club? You know, lastminute.com. This is what we've become now. Leave it to the last minute and then hope for the best. It's not going to happen, man. You're going to come unstuck against someone. You know, we did it last season. We got away with it. This year, it might go against us. The opposite might happen. You know, you can't keep doing it every year and expect to be successful. It's not going to happen, Liverpool. You need to wake up now, yeah? Wake up and finish the job with the players that we have. They've got us, you know, so far this season. They can finish the job. They need to refocus now. They've got a week to recover. Refocus. Go out there with the belief, with the passion to win the game against Brighton. And then you've got, you know, 2.5 weeks to get ready for the Champions League final against Real Madrid. And hopefully we can get some players back from injury. You know, Emre Can is a must to me in midfield. His strength, you know, his confidence on the ball. Sometimes he plays sideways passes, but he's much better than Wijnaldum for me. He's much better than Henderson. You know, Henderson is supposed to be a bloody captain, and you can't find him on the pitch in certain instances. He keeps hiding. You know, I was pissed off with Ruud Gullit when he said it against Roma in the second leg the other day on Wednesday. He was hiding on the pitch. It's the truth. If you look at the game in the second half, he didn't want to take on any responsibility. He didn't want to take the game by the scruff of the neck and take Liverpool on to win the game or to draw the game. And what happens? He got overrun in the midfield. Same with Wijnaldum. They keep giving the ball away, and eventually Roma punished us. You know, they got the 3 goals in the second half, and they won the game 4-2. We beat them 7-6 on aggregate, but we're only fortunate that we won the first game 5-2. Otherwise, we would have been out. You know, If they'd scored another goal at Anfield, we're out of the competition. You lose on the away goals. 7-7, and you lose on away goals to Roma in a game that you should have won easily. 70th minute of the first leg, the score was Liverpool 5, Roma 0. Should have been a walkover for Liverpool. Should have been a rout. But we allow teams to come back at us and to score silly goals. Same in the first leg. It was a bloody Lovren again who made the mistake for the first goal with Dzeko. Why does he jump for the ball? The ball's in the air and he's jumping too early. You've got to wait for the ball to come nearer to you and then you jump and clear it. You're 6 foot tall. You've got the strength. You've got the height. You don't need to bloody jump early. Wait for the ball to come nearer and then you jump because Dzeko is behind him. He's not going to get to the ball, Edin Dzeko. If he times his jump, he heads that ball away. And we don't concede that goal. But because he doesn't know how to defend, Lovren, he's got confidence issues. He crumbles after, minutes. Within a few minutes, he crumbles. He loses the game for the team. We can't go through a season with these players anymore, man. The likes of Moreno, Lovren, Mignolet, Karius in goal. These players are not good enough for Liverpool Football Club. Even Wijnaldum, Henderson. Milner has played outstandingly. I feel sorry for Milner because he's 32 years old. 33 years old now. He's getting tired. He's getting on, the man. What can you expect from him? Of course he's going to get tired, but he puts in the effort. And when he plays well, we usually win the game, Milner. He affects the game. Much more than Milner, much more than Henderson and Wijnaldum have ever affected the game. Milner affects the game, and we win that game when he plays well. But he's getting tired now because the other two players in midfield are not helping him. Their passing range is poor. They keep giving the ball away. They don't make any runs into the opposition area. They don't play the killer passes to the strikers, to Mane, to Firmino, to Salah. So what do they do on the pitch then? They just stand there like a lemon. You give the ball to me, I give it back to you. And then you give the ball to him, he gives it back to the goalkeeper. What is the point in that, man? This is like a bloody training session. This is a competitive game. You have to go out there with the mindset to change the game, to win the game for your team. If you're a good player and you believe in yourself, you should be going out onto the pitch to affect the game, to help your team to win the game. You're hiding, man. Every time you play the ball sideways and backwards, that means that you don't believe in yourself. You don't have any confidence to do anything on the pitch. So what is the point in you being in Liverpool's first 11? And I can't believe that Klopp sticks by these players. I really can't believe it. He's got Ben Woodburn there. He might be a young lad. Put him in. It's the perfect opportunity. Instead of putting bloody Alexander-Arnold in midfield, you should have just played Ben Woodburn from the beginning. At least he would have done something, At least he would have played a good pass. Or he would have made a surging run into the opposition area and created a chance. Or maybe take a shot and score a goal. But did you see Henderson do that yesterday? Or Wijnaldum? They can't even get into the bloody opposition penalty area, let alone take a shot. They're so far behind, they always stay in the midfield, protecting the defence apparently, but they can't even do that. They get overrun. They don't have any bloody pace, Wijnaldum or Henderson. Dzeko, what's his name? Hazard was just weaving through them like a snake, a snake in grass. He's just weaving through them, both Wijnaldum and Henderson. Anyway, that's all I want to say, Liverpool fans. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and make your comments in the comment section below. It would be very much appreciated. It's not looking very good, Liverpool fans. Unfortunately, I don't want to be pessimistic or negative, but it's not looking very good. And if we don't win the game against Brighton, then unfortunately, I can only see the final going one way, the Champions League final. It's going to be a defeat for Liverpool. Real Madrid are just going to use their experience, their knowledge of the game, and they're just going to pass it around us and finish us off. And if we can't get the ball to Mane, Firmino and Salah up front, with our lack of creativity, our lack of vision in the midfield, then there's only one winner in the game. Or, if Real Madrid don't turn up and we get a lucky goal, maybe we win the cup that way. That's the only way we're going to do it, So anyway, if Klopp is not able to achieve this, and he's not able to get the team into the top 4, and he loses the Champions League final, I'm afraid that should be the end of Jurgen Klopp. I'm not even joking. You know, he may have done well until now, but you can't tell me that he's a good manager when he's not able to get over the line. Good managers that believe in themselves, find a way for the team to get over the line, to win something, and to achieve something in the league. But with Klopp, he nearly done it last year. He nearly, lost us the top 4, and we only managed to do it on the final day. This year, it's the same scenario, but it could go the other way. You know, Brighton could win the game, God forbid. And then what happens? Your good season goes down the drain. You haven't achieved anything. We haven't done anything in the league. We're something like 22 points behind Man City. And there's still 1 game to go, 2 games to go for Man City. You know? So we can't keep going on like this, Liverpool. We need to have a manager that is good both offensively, attacking-wise, and defensively. Because football is about both. You can't just have good attackers, good goal scorers, and then you leave the defence on its own. You leave the midfield empty. You leave the defence empty. You're never going to win anything playing like this. We've seen it over the years. You know, this is what has made Liverpool fall down. Bad defending. You know, and in Rodgers' time we had a good strike force again. You know, the likes of Suarez, what's his name, Sturridge, and Raheem Sterling, Gerrard even. We had a decent attacking quartet. But backwards, going back, we never had a good defence. We had a poor goalkeeper, and we had a very leaky defence. A very mistake-ridden defence, you know. Mistake-making defence. And this is what cost us in the end. And it's still the same. We're in 2018. We're still having the same bloody problems. It's not good enough anymore, man. Any fans that don't see this, and they don't speak the truth, then I don't listen to them anymore. Because you're either deluded, or you're stupid. I don't want to slate you or say anything bad about you, but you've got to speak the truth. If you want Liverpool to improve, to become a better team, a better club, then we need to talk about our deficiencies. We need to talk about what we're not doing right on the pitch, or off the pitch, as in the owners of the club. If they don't invest money into the team and buy good players, then we don't need them anymore as owners. Get them to sell the club to somebody that cares about Liverpool Football Club, that's going to put the money into the club, and then we can go out and buy good players in the certain positions on the pitch that we need. Why do we keep making excuses for these Yankees, these Americans? They haven't done anything, man. What have they done since they've been here? They haven't won anything. We've only won 1 League Cup. You know, it's coming on to bloody, 10, 11 years. You know, we've had these people for 7 years, 8 years as owners, Fenway Sports Group. We've only won 1 League Cup. And that was a bloody penalty shootout against Cardiff in 2012. Dalglish got the team to 2 cup finals. He finished, 7th in the league. But he got the team to 2 cup finals and he got sacked. You know, these people don't understand the game of football. Why are they trying to run a club if you don't understand the game? You know, if we'd kept Dalglish there, I'm sure the next season we would have done it. We would have done very well in the league. And then they went and appointed Rodgers, and what happened? We finished in 7th again because you don't invest any money in the team. So what's going to happen? You're either going to stay in the same position or you're going to start going even further down, dropping down a league. And that's exactly what happened. The 2013-14 was down to Suarez and Sturridge. We had a great season. We played some great attacking football, scored so many goals, but we threw it away right at the end because they can't cope with the pressure. They're not good enough to cope with the pressure, the players that we had in the team. And they threw it away. And they allowed Manchester City to win the title again. And this year they've walked away with it, the title. No one's next to them. We can't blame Klopp for the league position, but you need to keep the intensity in the team. Keep winning games in the league, even if you're not going to finish in the top 2. Try and finish in 3rd. Try and consolidate 3rd place above Tottenham. And now you've just given the impetus to Tottenham. They went and lost to bloody West Bromwich Albion at the weekend. We thought that's it. Liverpool win at Chelsea. That's it. We finished 3rd. And we're not even able to do that now. Anyway, You know, there's no point in ranting anymore. I've done my rant. My rant is over. Sorry for giving you a headache, Liverpool fans, but I'm really starting to get agitated now. I'm really starting to get pissed off again towards the end of the season. I just pray to God that we beat Brighton and then we go into the Champions League final with confidence, with belief that we can actually beat Real Madrid and win the European Cup. Because if we lose that final, I'm telling you, the summer's going to be very bad for Liverpool. There's going to be massive upheaval at Liverpool. There's going to be backlash. And if we end up selling, our good players, like a Salah or Mane or someone like that, Firmino, then we're in big trouble next season. We're not even going to make the top four. We're not even likely to get into the top six. Forget about top four with the players we've got. So, yeah, all we can do is wait and see what's going to happen. Anyway, Liverpool fans, thank you for watching the video. And as I said before, please like and subscribe. Make your comments in the comment section below. And tell me your thoughts, Tell me if you think we can win the European Cup. Or are we just, we're kidding ourselves? And tell me if you think the Brighton game is going to be 3 points. Or are we going to get beaten again by Brighton? I wouldn't put it past Liverpool. We're capable of some magnificent things, but we're also capable of some disastrous things. So you can never tell with Liverpool. Anyway, on to the next match, and hopefully we finish the job on Saturday, and then we can train for the final of the Champions League, relax a bit, take our time, and hopefully get a few players back, injuries back, and we go into the final and see what we can do against Real Madrid. But it's not going to be easy anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later on, Liverpool fans. Take care of yourselves.